Hello, hello. Welcome to part 2 of Junk Journaling for Beginners. In part 1, we created the signature, and if you missed it, I will put a link to that below. And basically, we just took some coffee dyed paper, some printed digital papers, and some old book pages, and made a nice little hodgepodge of papers. All right, so this is our signature. And as I mentioned in the first video, I personally tend to like to save the cover for last. So another thing that once you've created your pages, the first thing you might want to think about, honestly, is what if you want a theme at all. Since I used the digital papers from my French Cottage Rose kit, I'm going to keep everything more vintagey and flowery. And it's a pretty general look, actually. I could do different themes with this whole kit. But, some people like to just kind of create as they go, just do a few pages at a time. I like to kind of pick a theme and then focus all of my attention on when I decorate the pages, get all the embellishments and tags and pockets and such that have that kind of a theme in there. So that's just me. Again, like I had mentioned before, everybody does it differently. Everybody has their own preferences. And so I'm just sharing with you kind of my thoughts and the way I like to do it. And I'm a big theme nerd. I just love themes. I love naming things. I just love theming things. So that's the way I do it. So I'm going to stick with the vintage rose theme. I might add some more floral things as well, but just kind of to keep it basic. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out some of the things on these pages here that came in the kit. Again, you can use whatever you have. Let's see here. I don't have any really fussy cuts. I don't know if you've heard the term fussy cuts before. When I first heard it, I thought the person was just being cute. But it really is. It is called a fussy cut, is when you have little things like this to cut out, not necessarily tags. Let me show you an example of some fussy cuts. Like here's a fussy cut from one of my Valentine's kits. Of course, these are little tickets for my Valentine's kit, but fussy cuts are basically just little shapes and people or animals or what have you that you just kind of cut out, kind of like a sticker. You can cut it out right along the edges, or if it's more complex like this, you can just cut right along the shape. And then if you ink the edges as well, then it looks really cool. So that's a fussy cut. This kit in particular doesn't really have any fussy cuts except maybe these medallions. I don't know if you want to call them that. Actually, I wouldn't call them fussy cuts because I can punch them out with my circle puncher, which I may or may not do. We'll see. So a fussy cut is actually something that's a little bit more intricate. So just so that you know that terminology. So, but we're just, again, trying to keep it just really simple and basic so that you don't get overwhelmed as a beginner, because I know how easy that can happen. So I'm going to actually start with, I'm going to cut out these little tuck spots. You can call them pockets. You can call them tuck spots. I would say these are maybe more of a tuck spot. I'm not sure. The words are kind of interchangeable, I've found for myself. A pocket, this is definitely, I would say, more of a pocket, and this is maybe a tuck spot. And anything basically that you can tuck a little, tag or something in, you can call that a tuck spot pretty safely. So let me just cut. I'm going to go ahead and cut this whole page out. Okay, so I just got that one page cut out for now. You know, and another thing that you might want to do is just kind of gather all the things that you think you might want to use. You don't have to make any decisions yet. And just kind of, you know, just kind of play with the bits and pieces that you have and just see what comes together. This is the fun part. This is the part I just absolutely love because you just, you know, sometimes you start out with an idea, but you just never really know exactly what you're going to end up with. And it's really exciting to see how things come together. So this little guy was actually a card to fold in half. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half. Get a good crease with my bone folder. All right, so let me play with a few ideas. And if you want to keep it really basic, then, you know, you can just, you know, just glue the corners right here, these two sides, and then boom, there's your tuck spot. Isn't that sweet? That's just a really basic, and there's nothing wrong with that. This I kind of intended as a bookmark, but this would make a beautiful belly band as well. Just kind of glue these two spots right here, and then you can tuck something in there like that, which I think that may be what I do for this first page. It's coming to me now. So I think I'm gonna use this as my tuck spot, kind of front and center. And then I will cut out these beautiful vintage receipts, French receipts with the pretty vintage roses on them. And I may just, you know, maybe fold them up because I put this on just regular copy sheet paper or copy paper. So it's nice and thin, kind of like an actual receipt might be. I may just kind of fold them up and tuck them all in here. So that's what I'm going to go with. That's what I'm going to go with. But first, I am going to ink this edge because if you saw my first video, inking is my jam. I just love it. Okay, so then I'm going to I will use glue. This is art glitter glue. Let me see if I have, oh, here we go. Here's the original bottle, art glitter glue. I love it. This is kind of my go-to glue. And again, everyone has their own favorite glues. I usually use art glitter glue and Fabri-Tac if I'm dealing with any kind of fabric like lace or ribbons. And then I also, what I like to call the Mac Daddy of glues, the E6000. If I have kind of thicker embellishments or maybe like a metal embellishment, like a metal medallion or something that's kind of heavy and heavy duty, this is great. I would say this is very similar to using a hot glue gun without the danger of burning yourself. It doesn't dry quite as quickly as a hot glue does, but it dries pretty stinking quick, I think. I think quick enough. I would maybe use a hot glue gun more often myself, except my setup here on my craft table, I don't have a good setup where I have a plug nearby. So every time I'm trying to plug in a hot glue gun, it kind of ends up like sliding off, and a hot glue gun is something you want very, very stable nearby. And I just don't have a good setup for that. Maybe one day. So I found that the E6000 works fantastic if you want that kind of a hold without the dangers of dealing with a hot glue gun and hurting yourself. I'm kind of prone to hurting myself sometimes when it comes to those things. So I want to be as careful as possible. So, all right, I'm just going to keep this really simple and elegant, I think. And I'm just going to put glue here and glue here. and just pop it right in the middle there. Make sure my glue isn't clogged up. And I did print on the back side, which doesn't matter because you won't see it at this point, but it's okay. I just wanted to have that as an option just in case. Because again, I never know exactly what I'm going to do until I do it. And that's part of the fun, you know. I think that's so much fun. And with art glitter glue, you don't need a whole lot, and it dries quite quickly as well. So you want to make sure that you have a good idea. It's not going to be too forgiving as far as moving it if you change your mind on something. So I'm going to, I mean, you have a little bit of time. Like I just slid this over just a little bit. So that's pretty much going to do it for that. And I think I have a hair. Hang on. I think I have a hair hanging onto my little glue topper. I have 5 dogs, so there's hair everywhere all the time, at all times. I can't get away from it. Okay. And one thing that, another reason why I like to not do the cover yet, and I don't want to, you know, bind it to the cover, is because when I'm working on the pages, sometimes it's easier to just be able to go like this, get the rest of them out of the way, and then just kind of work flat. Or if you need for some reason to do things like, you know, work on it like this, you can. Once you have tied the signature into the cover, sometimes it's a little harder to work with. So that's why I always save the cover to last. I don't sew anything into the cover until the very last step. I like this. And then sometimes as you're decorating, you may feel like, you know what, I want to swap these pages around. I want to put this here instead of there. And you have that freedom to do that. You're not tied to anything yet. So I kind of like having that freedom. So that's my 2 cents on that. All right. So let me go ahead and cut these guys out. And you know what? I think I'm going to use my guillotine cutter rather than my scissors. Because these are going to be small enough. Yep. And then, well, you know what? I will need to cut this apart with my scissors. There we go. And this little guillotine cutter isn't quite big enough for a full sheet, you know, with the 11 inches going that way. But this works right here. All right. So let's get this cutie over here. Pretty rose. And let me see. I think I can fit these without, no, they won't fit. This one will fit without folding. So I'll just leave that one as is. This one needs to be folded just a little bit. Okay, and this one definitely needs to be folded. All right. Boom, 1 page done. Isn't that sweet? Just that one little thing. I think it looks lovely. Now, another little trick that I love, and it's so basic and so easy. It just kind of makes everything pop, especially if you're going for a vintage look. If you have cheesecloth, adding cheesecloth to just about anything makes it look so vintagey and scraggly in a good way. So let me just show you what I mean. I just have some white cheesecloth here, which I think I will leave white. If you have just white, you can get cheesecloth in different colors. So it's kind of harder to come by sometimes, but that's okay. If you just find white, then just take your inks and just kind of dab the ink over it, and it gives it a nice subtle color. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But I think in this case, I'm going to keep it white because I want to kind of highlight the lighter areas here. So I was thinking I'm going to tuck some behind here because I glued, remember I did the glue right here. So I've got a little bit of actually this could be a tuck spot too. It could be a tuck spot, but I'm going to use, that space to put some cheesecloth. And, every cheesecloth experiment I do is literally an experiment. You just never know, again, exactly how it's going to look until you just do it. And so I don't know how this is going to look, to be honest. This is the first time I've done it like this, added it to something like this, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with my gut and try it. Now, another cool thing about cheesecloth, you can just, leave it like this, which I may do. I don't know. But sometimes, that's actually kind of perfect. I'll do it I'll show you what I mean here. If you want it to be more, rough and scrimply, is that a word? Just kind of rough it up like that, roll it around. And then, kind of do this and that. And then it definitely looks more vintage and grungy, if that's the look you're going for. And I usually do like that look, and I may go for that. But I kind of feel like this is going to be pretty, just like this. You know what I mean? And it already has a pretty scruffy look to it. So I'm going to, let's see. I think what I'll do, I'm going to glue it behind here, tuck it behind and glue it behind here. And on the bottom one, I'm going to do it on the top. And I'm going to leave the scruffy, scrunkly, I'm making up words. I'm going to leave it on top, and I like the roughness of that. So I'm just going to use the art glitter glue again. And again, you certainly don't need much of the art glitter glue, and just in general. And when you're talking about cheesecloth, you really don't need a whole lot because there's not much. There's not much there. You're kind of gluing air sometimes. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bead of glue kind of behind here where there's still some open space. Let me see. Got to get it where I can see it. That would help, wouldn't it? Okay. Just a little bit there. And then take this little guy, tuck it in behind there. All right. And I may do just a little bit up here to kind of give it an anchor. Just a little bit. Again, don't need much at all. Okay. Now, I think I like this kind of like that. So I'm going to just do a bead of glue here to start. And then maybe a little chunk of glue right there. Just a little bit. Okay. And see right away, it immediately gives it even more of a vintage feel to it, you know? Excuse me. I seem to be losing my voice. Okay. Now, I mean, you can just embellish the heck out of everything. And I have a tendency to want to maybe over embellish. And this one's a little bit off. But I'm probably going to do one more thing to this before I move on. Hang on. This is a little bit wonky. Okay. I want to try something. I have some little flower embellishments that I want to try. Let me see. Where did I put them? Okay, here we go. All right, I have like some little burlappy flowers. I have these pretty, I think those are probably too big. I don't know. Maybe the flowers will be overkill. I do have little rosebuds. Whoops. I have little rosebuds. Maybe that would be pretty. I don't know. I don't want to overdo it either, you know? Maybe one on each corner like that. Let me see. Maybe I feel like there needs to be something here. And maybe on the top, what I will do, let's see, let me add a little bling to the top, just a little bit. I'm honestly not usually into too much bling, but sometimes I feel just a touch is very pretty. And some people really bling things up, and they really do a great job. Maybe I'm just not good at blinging things up. I feel like I ruin it. I overdo it. So I like to do just a little bit, just to keep myself from overdoing it. But I'm thinking just kind of like on the corner here or something. What do you think? See, this is where you get to have so much fun and just kind of experiment. I'm thinking a little bit of bling there and then the rose here. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe on this corner. These are very difficult to work with. Okay. Maybe on that, kind of want to offset something. Now I feel like something needs to go there. In the middle, maybe in the middle on the label. Yes, I like that. Okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Okay, so this little guy has a little bit of sticky on the back already, but not quite enough to really be permanent. So I'm going to add just a dot, and this is going to be a challenge. I really need to get myself some tweezers over here. Now the glue doesn't want to come out. Oh, there we go. Okay. Really need just a touch. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the banner on that label. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. Ah, I like it. Okay. Let's get it. Tap down. And art glitter glue does dry clear, so, if a little bit oozes out, it's okay. But it does dry a little shiny, I've noticed, so you don't want a whole lot sticking out, because even though it'll be clear, it'll be shiny. And sometimes that's not quite the look you want. So, okay, so that's that. Oh, I can't seem to close my... Oh, my goodness. My vision. Okay, there we go. Okay, and so then to glue this puppy on, this is a case where I'm going to use the E6000 glue because it's kind of bulky. I want something thick that this can kind of sit in. Again, this will be clear. You can get it in white as well, but I always get it in the transparent and the clear because it's just, that way you don't have to worry about it peeking out if you if you get a little bit, a little bit messy. And again, you don't need much of this at all. At all. Try to close that up, or else it likes to leak. It likes to drip while you're working. So, all right. I think I'm going to put it just right there. I'm going to just hold it there for a minute, give it a little bit of time to dry. Just for it to grab. It'll definitely need longer to dry, but as long as it stays put, then we can move on. Okay, that should be pretty good. Okay, so let's just turn the page, shall we? Okay, so we've got a whole nother page that's just blank. You can keep it blank. That's not a problem at all. You can embellish it further. I think for this one, I will maybe just keep it simple. And let's see. Let me see here. See, these are little. Oh, well, here's a little card. So cute. Oh, I love those vintage roses. This is a little postcard that you can, use as a writing space. But I think what I might do, I might actually just turn this into a pocket. I mean, there are no rules that say that you can't. So I think I'm going to turn this into a pocket and just pop it right there. Okay. Now, of course, I must ink. All right. And then I'm just going to glue that side, and then I can tuck something in there. Oops. Okay, that side and that side, that side and that side. I have to remind myself sometimes. When I flip it, I get myself turned around. Okay. Okay. And while that dries just a tad, I'm going to go ahead and ink my little card. Cutesy patootsy card. All right. And for now, I think I'm going to ink the top crease too. All right, and for now, I think that's what I'm going to tuck right there. Just a little space for a love letter there. All right, so again, just keeping it basic. I'm just going to leave this page as it is. It's a great writing page. This is, plenty of journaling space. I'm just going to leave it as is. It's pretty there with the decorations. We'll just leave it. Okay. And, here again, we can add something. Let's see. Is there anything I want to add? Anything I want to add? Let's see. And I'm just kind of using this kit as a guide. There are literally so many things that you can do to a page. And that is the beauty of YouTube. I have lots of ideas on my channel. I encourage you to check out the channels of the ladies on my design team. They have fantastic ideas. They've worked on just so many beautiful projects. A lot of just little fun things that you can do on a page. I mean, it's incredible. It can be definitely overwhelming. So that's why I'm kind of trying to keep it simple for you right now, because it can be overwhelming. You can just spend hours and hours doing nothing but watching YouTube videos on these amazing things that you can do. So we're just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to use up the things that I have in this kit, just because I think that'll keep it simple. It'll give you ideas, and then you can just start playing with other ideas that you come across along your journey. So for now, I'm going to keep this as is. You can always embellish this, which I may embellish with the medallions here. I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm gonna hold on to that idea. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for this one, I'm going to show you what I meant by kind of tearing this and using this as an embellishment as well. And I'm going to just, I'm going to sacrifice the journaling space and just kind of turn this into a pretty collage type of spot. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to start ripping. And when you kind of rip, how should I describe it? Rip the left side down like this, then your edge stays kind of clean. And I'll show you what happens when you rip the other way. Okay. So that's, that was ripping with the left side down. If you rip the left side up, then you end up with kind of a white edge, because the paper is ripping past the color, I guess is the only way to describe that. So just keep that in mind when you rip. There's not a right or wrong way to do it. It just depends on what kind of edge you want. I tend to like this way, but I've also done it this way. And then when you ink the edges, the ink really grabs onto that white, and it kind of makes that inked edge just even that more pronounced. So either way is completely fine. I've done it both ways. I tend to do it this way more than not, but both are absolutely fine. So I'm just going to rip willy-nilly. I'm not going to pay attention to how I'm ripping at this point. I'm just going to rip and just kind of see what happens. All right, so I think I'm going to put that there, but not before I ink it. Okay, so I plan on putting that there. We'll see. Anything could change at this point. All right, so I'll do that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this. Okay, and then let's see. I like to add a book page. I always like adding book pages wherever possible, because I just think it looks so pretty. Let me grab another page out of this book. Maybe even, I think I might use that image. That's pretty neat. That is pretty neat. It's not necessarily rosy, but it's very scripty, right? So, yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm just going to rip this too. This is kind of roughly what I'm thinking. So I'm going to kind of put it off to the side in the order I'm thinking so I don't forget. I've done that before, where I have it all laid out and then I move it off and I cannot remember for the life of me how I wanted to do it. So you got to help yourself out. So here's another tip. When you're working with thinner paper, especially with this book, thin book page, I'm going to use just a glue stick. Art glitter glue has a tendency to it's very wet and it tends to kind of buckle the pages, the paper, if it's too thin. And you can kind of see the pattern. Like if I were to, go like this on here and stick it on there, when it dries, you can see the lines where I did that. I learned that the hard way. So, unless you want to go ahead and like take a brush or use your finger and spread it out, you could certainly do that. I've never felt the need. I don't like things on my fingers. So, and I never seem to have a brush nearby that I want to, sacrifice to glue. So, I like to use just a glue stick, and this Staples glue stick has worked better for me than most craft glue sticks, just to be honest. So it's really strong. It holds very well. It's not rarely does it kind of peel up. So let me get a scrap piece of paper, because I want to get my desk all gluey and I don't want to get that page all gluey. So I'll just stick this on here like this, get it good and covered all the way to the edges. And then, okay, see, I already forgot. How did I have it? I think I had it like this. Told ya. Okay, so, and again, it's not exact science. I'm just going to plop it where it feels right. Okay, and then I'm going to do this one next. And I'm just going to keep going until the page is done. So what do you think? I think that looks pretty neat. That's a quick way to really, pretty up a page. Just collage, just put some, pages that they're kind of coordinated or maybe just really contrasted, just depends on what your style is. So there's something that you can do with your pages if you want. And you can still add, I can still add a tuck spot. You can still add things to it. It's just kind of your own, you've made your own design. So let's move on to, let's see here. I want to put one of these little corner tucks on here. And they're both, I think both work best with, like a right-hand page. I don't like that color together. So let me find, there we go. That looks better. Or how about that? Oh yeah, I like that one. Okay. So this will just be another quick little thing. Nice and simple, but we'll add a beautiful little element. Okay. And then I will just glue here. And with coffee stained paper, it's usually, I like to leave mine wavy. I know some people like to actually iron them so that they get really flat again. And I can definitely see the appeal to that, and that could be handy. But I actually really like it if they stay a little bit wavy. I usually, mash it down with a heavy pile of books to get it a little bit flatter, but I kind of like using them a slightly wavy. But then sometimes when you're gluing things down, you have to make sure that it doesn't want to stick right away sometimes because it's wavy, but that's okay. This will work. Okay. All right. So I've got a cute little pocket there. And I say, look, this is just the first half. Now we've got the second half here to work with. So let's see. That kind of looks nice on that shade because all of the shades are just slightly different, aren't they? I actually think it looks really good. This seems like this paper is slightly rosy, and it kind of goes better with that. So let's just put that one here too. All right, so we've got those corners covered. And, oh yes, I was going to make this belly band for one of the pages and then tuck these little gals in there. So let me cut this out real quick. Okay, so let us decide which page we are going to put these little beauties. Let's see here. I could put it on one of these. And see, this one happens to be just the perfect size for this page. The thing with belly bands is that, you can cut them any size. If I wanted to do it this way, I could just, cut that off. The flower is kind of upright like this, so I kind of want to keep it like that for this case. But you can certainly, you can certainly do it any way you want. Actually, let me show you some belly bands that I made from just scraps. And these are actually all horizontal. See, I could actually use any of these. And I do have a tutorial on how I made these, but it's basically just using scraps. And none of these really necessarily go. This one maybe, but it's a little long and I don't want to cut this one. So I'm just going to go with what's in the kit, but you kind of get the point, right? You can do it this way. These were all made to be horizontal. So, but you can make it, however you want. I'm just going to use this one like this. And then we're going to tuck these girls in like this. Okay. Okay. Well, this glue, I'm telling you, art glitter glue dries really fast. I need to be more diligent about putting my little stopper on the top after I use it because it likes to clog up. There we go. There we go. All right, let me see. Where's middle? Where's middle? Okay. So about there. I just love the beautiful paper, beautiful patterns that coffee dyed paper ends up. You just never know what you're going to end up with, and it's just so pretty. I love it. I use it every chance I get. Okay, so there we go. That's actually a little bit loosey-goosey I'm going to put a little bit more glue. And here's a trick. Here's a trick I can share with you. If you have something glued down already and you want to get glue up underneath, just in case you have not heard of this trick yet, just put glue on here, and then you can slide it in underneath where you need it, right? Without having to get all up in there, which is going to be hard to do once one end is glued down. But you can slide this pretty easy and just kind of smudge the glue where you want it. And to close that up just a little bit more, because these were going to slide out way too easy. I wanted it to be a little bit snug. Not too tight, but just a little bit more. Do the same down here. Okay. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Oh, did I make it too tight now? Hang on. Before it goes too permanently, let me. I got a little bit too enthusiastic about that. Okay, that's good. All right, that will work. Be able to slide them in and out, and they won't just flop out, I don't think. If they do, actually, if we do it like that, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Okay. If they do, though, there's things that we can do to fix it, so we won't worry about that right now, though. All right, so now what I'm going to do, let's see here. I've got some envelopes. And then this page, and still have this cute little card here. I'm going to cut out the pocket and the tags. And let me see about these medallions. I think they're 1.5 inches. And it might just be easier. You can certainly cut them out by hand, but if you have a circle punch, it's much quicker. Much quicker. I think the 1.5 will work, I believe. Yep, 1.5 will work. All right, so I'm going to punch these out. I'm going to cut out the tags. And then, of course, ink everything up. We are all inked and ready to go. Okay, so let me just go ahead and ink this one. Not sure what I'm going to use it for yet, but might as well get this one ready to go too. All right. So with tags, you can just leave them as is. Just, where's my little tuck spot? And just tuck them in like this. Isn't that pretty? Or what I like to do is take a paper hole punch. Take the paper hole punch and just do a little. Don't get too close to the edge because you don't want the ribbing through. And then just pick a pretty ribbon. Let's see. Yes, okay. This is really pretty seam binding. Let me grab a little piece there. Beautiful color. This is actually seam binding from a friend of mine that makes these beautiful seam bindings in all these different colors. Tabatha with Haystack Creations. You need to check her shop out. I'll actually put the link below as well for that. Beautiful seam binding colors. And it's, I don't know, I just love it. I just love it. So So then you just, you can make it as long or short as you want. Just kind of fold it in half, bring it through here, and then kind of open up the little loop-de-loop and poke those guys through. And voila, you have a beautiful, beautiful little tag. That's sweet. Isn't that sweet? That's a great color for all of these tags because that green goes perfect with those leaves. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so let me show you a different way to do it. I'll use the same ribbon. Excuse my reach. I'm going to cut a piece off here. And I like the crinkliness of it, but in this instance, I'm going to cut the crinkle off. All right, so here's another little thing you can do. Just kind of make a tab. Let's see. I'll put these two together. So just make a little, make a tab of it, right? Hang on, let me make sure these are cut. I want to cut them fairly straight on the end here. Okay. All right, and then you can get this cute little from Tim Holtz, tiny little mini stapler. That staples are so cute and tiny. They're perfect for crafting. So I like to do this a lot too. Just kind of sandwich it there. Center it up. And then take your tiny little stapler and, whoops, I'm not quite centered. Hang on. Oh, I'm off on the back. Hang on. I'm making it look harder than it really is. I'm sorry. The ribbon is wanting to shift. Don't shift on me. Actually, this one, maybe doing it this side. Hang on. This is still kind of a crooked cut. I want that straight. Okay. It's still not straight. Oh my goodness. What is the deal, Karen? Okay. Put that on the front. And then sandwich on the back. Okay, it's not going to end up being straight. And this is where the perfectionist in me is just going to have to get over it. It's just going to have to get over it. It's okay. Wonky is beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to staple. And it's because this is small, it is a little hard to work with. But it's okay. It's going to look really cute. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I can do it. And you can too. All right, I'm just trying really hard just to get it centered. But you know what? It's going to be what it's going to be. All right. Cute. So isn't that cute? I think that's adorable. It's such a tiny little staple. I'm going to try to cut it. Let me use my tiny scissors here to get up under here. I really want this straight. There we go. That's better. The back is a little wonky too. There we go. Okay. Now, isn't that adorable? I love it. Okay. So we're going to tuck those little cuties in there. Okay. And again, this can be writing space. If you like this, if this is too busy for you, you can just take some scrap paper. Let me just do that real quick. I've got scrap coffee dyed paper, and I'm going to use the lighter side. And again, you can cut it exactly to the tag if you want. Just trace around it and then cut before you do the ribbon. But again, because I like things kind of scruffy, I'm just going to rip something that's roughly the size that I'm going to need. And then that will magically become a better writing space if that's what floats your boat. Kind of like that. But you know what? I got to do my edges. I just think everything looks a little more finished that way. I don't know. It's just me, probably. Maybe it's just me. I know a lot of crafters like to ink, so everyone has their own reasons. Okay. All right. So then, to make this a nice little writing spot, we'll just. Oh, I'm going to use my glue stick. Just going to glue that on there. All right. Beautiful. Lovely. This is so much fun. I love doing this. Okay, so tuck those there. All right, now let me find a spot for this bigger pocket. Spot for the bigger pocket. Okay. Do I want it here? Oh, I think I do, because look, those are the same roses. It's kind of a nice little coordinating thing. Yep. Okay. Sold. Doesn't have to be coordinating, but you know, I think it looks, in this case, it looks very nice. Oh, I did it again. I didn't close up my glue bottle. Come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. I say, come on there, Bertha. Okay. Make sure I get it on the, and I know where my center fold is there. There we go. Okay. This is a case where probably it'll be helpful to just kind of get everything else out of the way so I can lay this more flat. There we go. There we go. Okay, so what are we going to tuck in there? You know what I think I'm going to do? Yes. I think I'm going to just tuck a book page in there. Let me grab, I like the Greek lexicon one. Let me grab that book real quick here. Okay. I'm going to just tear out. Oh, that actually tore out better. I wasn't sure if that was going to work. And I think I'm going to do the deckled edge on all of these edges because I think I have enough playroom here. So I'm going to do the small side. Okay. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Let me ink real quick. Sorry. Okay. So I'm just going to fold that in half. Just tuck that right there. Just because I think it looks pretty like that. I really do. Okay. All right. So we're almost done. We're getting there. I mean, this could go on forever. But again, just kind of using up what's in this kit, just so that you get a good basic idea of what can be done. And there's, again, so many things you can do. So let's see here. Let's work with these envelopes. I'm going to show you two different things that you can do with envelopes like this. So let me cut these out real quick first. All right. So let's just go ahead and fold these little guys into an envelope. And then I will show you two different ways that you can use them. Actually, three. There's probably even more ways to use one if you are so inclined. Okay. All right, so, well, get the corners folded down just right. Okay, all right, I'm gonna glue these, glue this down together there. Let's see, I just kind of need a little bit right there, a little bit right there. All right. And the same for this. Okay. So, one thing you can do, first of all, I think I'm going to put these little medallions in an envelope for now. And then this little guy, I believe, will fit in there. Yep. Perfect. Okay. I think I need a little bit more glue. And honestly, I wasn't thinking about it, but I could have inked the edges before I folded it down, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, so cute little envelopes with cute little ephemera pieces in there. So you can three things that you can do, three simple things. Just, tuck it in a tuck spot, right? Or you can glue it down to the page and just have it be its own little thing like this. I've seen a lot of people do like a little series of envelopes on a page. It's really sweet. Or what we're going to do with this one, going to do with this one, you can actually make a pocket out of this too by gluing the sides and the bottom. And then you'll have a spot to tuck something behind and have something in here, right? So that's what I'm going to do with this. So let me just get my glue. And do the sides and the bottom right there. Put it on this little corner here. Again, I'm going to kind of separate it a bit. Okay, I'm really wishing I had inked the edges. Let me see if I can get a little bit of brown on the edges there. It's bothering me. I'm telling you, I'm addicted to inking. I'm addicted to the look. I love it so much. I love it so much. A little bit. It's very, very faint. It may be just enough to satiate me. I think actually that's okay. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. So let's tuck this little guy in there. So sweet. And then we've got the cute little medallions in here. And honestly, whoops, I was thinking about using these for this long piece of book page. So I'm going to bring those out for a minute. I'm going to take those out for uno momento. Let's see. Here. I want to have something cute and sweet inside that envelope. So I'm just going to do this. And this will be another nice little journaling spot. You know, if you are needing more little areas to journal, you can always do that. Cute, 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 cute. Okay. And then we'll put this little guy somewhere. Where are we going to put this little guy? I don't know. Maybe I'll put him here. No, I won't put him there. Let's see. I may just for the sake of time and simplicity, I may actually add the little, oh, it's not quite, just a little bit too shy there. Hang on, I can fix it. Gonna trim just a hair. Re-ink, of course. Of course. Oh, thinking a little bit wonky there. I went a little crooked. Hang on. I should have done it with my little guillotine cutter. Because then I'd know for sure I was cutting straighter. Okay, I think that should work. All right. So, got bits and pieces everywhere. All right, so I'm going to tuck this, along with this cute little postcard, I'm going to tuck this little love note in here as well. So we've got that, and we're going to just tuck that little envelope right there. Isn't that sweet? I love it. I love it. Okay, let me put my glue topper back on, which, by the way, is also something you can get from Haystack Creations. She makes these toppers that are just gorgeous. I have 2 of hers, and I want more because they're addicting, because they're so beautiful. So I'll put the Haystack Creations link below as well. Plug for my friend. All right. Okay, so one idea I had, I kind of wanted to embellish this long piece here. Oh, I got another tag. I'm gonna stick this tag right here for now. Okay, so pretty. Okay, so this is just an idea. This is kind of an example of how just crazy you can get with this stuff. There is no right or wrong. I'm thinking that I might want to just kind of create like a little, I don't know, just like a little, I'm not even sure what to call it. It's a little cluster right here along the edge of this book page. I think I'm going to do that like this. But before I do that, I definitely want to add cheesecloth. And you know what? I'm going to take all of that away so I can work with it easier. Kind of get in my own way there if I leave it in the book. So I'm going to go ahead and take my cheesecloth and cut a piece off roughly, let me see, a little bit shorter than that page, I think. Just a little bit shorter. Okay, where did my scissors go? I'm just going to cut a strip. Okay, and I want it a little bit shorter. And I do want to actually color this a little bit. I want to tint it. So let me grab a scrap piece of paper again. And this time I want it to be a different color. I think I want it to be something other than brown. So let me think on this just a little bit. I think I like the green, that sweet, delicate green. So let me see if I have any. Let me see if I have any greens in my stash here. Let's just see here. I have a bunch of the tiny little inks. Oh, it's teal. Teal's pretty. That's green, but that's a bright green. I don't think I want to go in that direction for this. That's kind of bright too. Cracked pistachio. I don't know. Let me see. Let me play with this a little bit here, because it might turn out to be a little bit more delicate once it's on the. Oh, I think that's the right shade. I'm gonna go with it. This is cracked pistachio. So I'm gonna just dab it on here. Yes, I think that'll be nice. Yep. Okay, cool. I love it when things work out like that. And just kind of dab, dab, dab. I might add a little bit of brown too, just in little spots. I mean, this is literally how crazy and creative you can get, right? There are no rules. You just make stuff up as you go. And usually the last minute made up ideas turn out to be pretty stinking awesome. Usually. And if they don't, you know what? You just toss it and move on. Ain't nobody gonna be mad at you for that. But I'm pretty sure I'm liking the way this is going to turn out. It still looks brighter than it actually is because it's showing up on that. But oh yes, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Can you see that on the camera? I'm not sure it's showing up as well as it is in real life, but it's quite lovely. Quite lovely. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to add just a little bit of brown on the edges, kind of like I do with the paper. I'm just going to try that and see if it looks as good in reality as I'm thinking it might. It's looking good in my head, but let's just see. A little bit of brown on the edges. Okay. It's looking good so far, I think. I think I'm liking it. See, this is something new that I've tried. I haven't done this before. And here I am trying it on a beginner's tutorial. See? The possibilities never end. They really don't. Okay, look at that. Oh my goodness gracious. Yep, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Maybe a little bit here and a little bit there. Just because. No real reason why. Okay, so let me get rid of that. I love it. You scrunch it up just a little bit more, get it a little bit more scraggly looking. Just a little more scraggly. And let's unfurl it a bit. Okay, now, do I want it hanging off the edge? I think I might want it hanging off the edge a little bit with these little guys. Yes. Okay. So I kind of want to do every other one. Don't want to start with that. And I don't know, start with a flower on top or on the bottom. I don't know. No, I think I want these because I don't want to cover up the writing. So I'll have those be on top. I have to start with the flowers on the top there and then have these sitting on top of the flowers. Like so, or something like that. Okay, I like it. Oh my goodness. I'm loving this colored cheesecloth with the brown edges. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm seeing a spot that's a little bit too much white still. So let me get that inked. There we go. Okay. Oh goodness, this is going to be lovely. All right. So that is my general gist of that. And I'm going to use this because I want to get most of this down, but I don't want to make it very wet with the art glitter glue. And this will be just enough, I believe, to hold it nicely. And then when we glue these down, there'll be much more glue on them, and that'll make it a little bit more permanent. But for now, I'm going to do this. Oh my goodness, this is lovely. I'm liking it a lot. Like a whole lot. I'm going to be doing this in some of my other journals. Yep. Okay. So now, let me figure out exactly how I want to do these. Want them sticking out? Do I want them all in a row? Like that? Or do I want to maybe alternate a little bit? And then maybe spin them like that. Kind of make it a little bit hodgy-podgy. And not so straight in a row. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay. So I will start with this one. Okay, so since part of it's going to be sticking out, I don't need too much glue on that side. Okay. Ouch. Okay. And then the other rows. Okay, I'll put the other rows kind of about there. All right. Well, up a little bit more. Up a little bit more. Okay. And then the jardin, the little bee. It's going to be all the way in. I'm going to turn them a little bit. And this is the part where, this is totally however you want to do it. You can put them all straight in a row. You can do them kind of hodgy-podgy like I'm doing. That's just where you get to, let your creativity flow. And, this is the fun part. For me, it's exciting because, like I said, I don't know how the finished product is going to look, because something might come to me that I didn't think of until I actually saw something kind of halfway put together, and then I'll have an idea. So that's the fun. That's the joy of paper crafting for me. I mean, it's endless. You can just absolutely just go crazy and get so creative. So, okay. So I'm liking that. What do you guys think? Okay, so I don't remember exactly where I had it. I think I had it here, but that may be a little bit too much going on there. I kind of want that to be its own thing. So I will put it, I think that might look pretty there. I don't know. Let me see. See, this is why I like to not have anything like sewn down yet, because you can change things up at this point, you know. Okay, well, I'm in the other half. So let me figure out here. Oh, okay. You know what? I think I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to move this one somewhere else. This one can go, I think this one can go here. I don't think that detracts. It kind of goes with that. So anyway, that's just my opinion. So I think that's it. I still have some of these left over, some of this paper left over that I could certainly add more, and I probably will at some point. But just for our purposes today, we're going to stop here. And in the next video, part 3, we will finish this up, and I will show you the quickest and easiest way to bind a junk journal, which does not involve sewing or stitching. There are so many ways to bind a journal, and they're all lovely. They're all just beautiful. But this was the way that I started doing it, and to me, it's the easiest and it's the least intimidating. I really put off putting a cover on for a long time until I realized that I could do it this way, and it ends up looking beautiful. So we will get into that in the next video, part 3. And I just want to thank you for joining me for part 2. And if you have not yet, I would love it and so much appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and comment below. If you have any questions, please comment. I'm happy to interact with you. I'm happy to just have a conversation, answer any questions you may have. But I'm hoping this was helpful to you and you learned something new as you start your junk journaling journey. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.